Hello. I'm here. I just wanted to see if anybody was out there. Short notice. I'll wait around a few minutes and see if this thing. Yeah. Well, I know I should plan these things better, but I just had an interesting Skype call and I wanted to share my findings. I'll just post this video. I'm sure I'll get more reaction when I post it, but I've got a demo to do here, and I wasn't real familiar with Sabbadius. That's the way you say it in Spanish, Sabbadius. And I've got this Mr. White pedal, and it's somewhat of a boost. It's not like an OCD or a tube screamer, but I call these type of boosts enhancers. It might be a better term, but kind of takes everything and adds a little bit of different frequencies. And this one's got a clean mode and a dirty mode, but you put it at the end of your pedal chain and it will really boost everything. And I don't know if you're familiar. I use my I'm using my Area 51 Alienist, and that kind of boosts my wah-wah and also boosts my OCD. So this seems like it does pretty much the same thing in one pedal instead of using two pedals. It's like having an OCD and a voicing boost. Either way, I'll demo that later. But what I wanted to tell you, and I'll just make this short since nobody's really here, is that I just got off a Skype call with Nicolas in Argentina, who builds all these, and I'll put the link to his website in the description. It's mainly on reverb.com. He has a website, and he also has a Facebook page. I'll put all those in there. He says Facebook is more up to date, but reverb.com has all of his no, I just didn't. I saw some numbers up here. It's 7 people, but nobody was saying anything. I'm sorry, Oscillation Overdrive. I appreciate everybody. But either way, I just want to let you know, I get a lot of questions on what vibe to get, and I've been kind of lost for recommendations. Piggyback Basement 67, 68. Can I get the Hendrix tone? Yeah, I mean, in Wikipedia, if you look up Voodoo Child in Wikipedia, they describe it. And that's something I did want to talk about that I've been meaning to talk about for a while, is that I bought the 50th anniversary Hendrix set, which has a 5.1 surround sound mix of the Electric Ladyland. It comes with 4 CDs. It's got a video, but in the video, they explain a lot. They go into detail. They actually have Jack Cassidy there in the studio, in the film, talking about the night or the morning they recorded that at 7 in the morning. He didn't mention the amp, but Wikipedia says he used a Bassman, but it was an amp and a cab. So I'm guessing it was a piggyback. It sounds to me like my Tweed Bassman. But I don't know. The later 67, 68s, to me, don't sound as good as the earlier ones. But I do have a 64 blonde piggyback, and I just don't use it that much. So to me, it doesn't have that sound. It doesn't have as much bass to it for some reason. I mean, it's a bass amp, but I don't know. You might have to do some electrical modding on that circuit to get it to sound good, and it may not be worth it. But if you get it at a good price, yeah, you could probably, if you do electrical work, you might be able to do it yourself. And it may only cost, a couple of $100 to get somebody to mod it to blackface specs. And it probably depends a lot on the speakers. I don't like those closed back cabinets for some reason, but I mean, that's what Jimmy used a lot was 215s, Showman, $800. That includes the cabinet with the speakers, original speakers and everything. Hey, David, I just wanted to let you guys know. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't sound like a bad deal, but like any hand-wired Fender amp can be modified to make it sound almost, any way you want them. I mean, but that costs money. And speakers do make a big amp and cab just refurbished. I don't know that, the best thing for those is to go play it. And I know a lot of times if you're buying online, you don't have that option, which kind of stinks, but I don't know, you're taking a chance. Is it 212s closed back cab, just like a regular piggyback? Here, I'll be right back. Wow. Yeah, well, $800 doesn't sound like a bad price. I mean, even if you can't get that Hendrix tone, but you know what? That's one of the reasons I'm on here today is it may not make that much difference if you have the right effects. I just got off what I wanted to tell you guys. I just got off of Skype with Nicolas. God, I can't say it again. I say, in America, we say Sabbadius 212 close back. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad deal. $800. Yeah, you just, you just have to kind of go for it. The good thing is you can sell it if you have to. But what I was going to say, I was on Skype with this guy that makes all this stuff down in Argentina, and he was playing all of his effects based off of Jimmy's sound through a 4x10 super reverb, just like mine, except it had a solid state rectifier in place of the tube, and it really sounded good. I was shocked that he was getting that great of a sound out of a super reverb. I never use my super reverbs, but shoot, he's got me curious to try one of those little adapters that change the GZ34 rectifier tube to a solid state. Tommy Katada, I forgot his name. He's a Stevie Ray Vaughan copy guy in Dallas. He actually is from Hungary, I think. And he's really good. Katana, he kind of endorses the Sabbadius pedals. But go on reverb.com. I'll put that link there. He's got 12 different effects, and he also makes a really good wah-wah, but he doesn't have that one for sale yet. But he just had a Black Friday sale, and everybody's asking me what kind of vibe to get. And there's so many. And I use this Vibe Baby, and it's been good. It doesn't have the deep throb that the originals did, but I leave it on all the time because the circuit has a really good tone boost to it. And I mean, I can't even hardly play my guitar without this thing on all the time. It's just such a good boost. But he said within the last month, he figured out the secret of the vibe and why they get such a really deep throb. And I said, yeah, none of them ever really get Yeah, Unique Vibe. Is that full tone? I can't remember. But I'm telling you, you need to check this thing out. I'm gonna probably get one for Christmas. I haven't told my wife that yet, but he had a Black Friday sale, and I think it's over now. And it was $300 plus about $40 shipping. And I'm telling you, after I heard it, I was going, man, that's it. It would definitely sounds better. And he figured out just within the last month. He's been making effects for 17 years, and he just figured out this secret that I'm sure he would never tell anybody. But it has to do with the LFO, and I forgot what LFO stands for. It has to do with that light. Let me see what he is a super effects guy, and I'm not much on all that stuff. LFO. Yeah, of course I get a band. Well, maybe it's light fluctuating. I don't know. Either way, he figured it out, and it does sound good. And you can make your own cheap expression pedal to change the speed. It won't turn it on and off, but you can go from slow to fast. And it's the one thing I asked is I said, well, can you turn off the vibe and still have the preamp that it's inside that makes the guitar sound so good? And he said he would have to put a toggle in it to keep that option, because normally if you hit the foot switch, it's going to be a true bypass and you're not going through the preamp in the effect. Well, the preamp's what really sounds good. If you don't want to use the vibe, it still makes your guitar sound really good, but he can do that mod if you want to specify it. But for $350, I think is a normal price. That's the best deal I've seen now. I was going to start pushing the Sir Henry Vibe by Tinsley Audio, but it's $600, and it sounds really good too. But I don't know if it sounds as good as this this Funky Vibe. It's called a Funky Vibe, and I've seen him out there. In a few months, he's going to actually make it look like a miniature Uni-Vibe, but he doesn't have the enclosures yet. But I mean, I was shocked. He had a really good sounding wah-wah that he's not selling yet. He had a great fuzz that has a fuzz wah-wah compatibility knob on it. So you can put your wah-wah in front of the fuzz and you turn the knob, which changes the impedance, input impedance on the fuzz until you get it to where it doesn't squeal. And then the fuzz and the wah-wah work together correctly, like Jimmy used to do. Either way, I'm going to put those links. I just want to let you know that the Vibe is what I would get right now, the one that he's selling. And it only takes about 10 days, I think, to get them from Argentina. But I do think he makes them to order, so I'm not sure exactly the lead time. But I will probably demo that when I get mine. And like I said, I'm going to demo this. This is the special version of the Mr. White, and it actually has another mod in here. It's called a Hendrix preamp, which just allows you to turn your amp down and still get kind of a fuzz sound that Hendrix used to get in the studio, because he used his fuzz as an overdrive a lot. So either way, I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I did. Seems like it was months ago already. Let me see. Let me get some more. How do you get the reverb like sound on your bassman? Well, the Reverb is a actual vintage reverb unit, and I've got it stuffed over there behind my amp, and I can't move the camera. It's a real 1963 vintage Fender reverb unit. That's what Dick Dale used when he did all of his surf music. And they're just great sounding. But I do have a reissue that was hand wired to use the original 6K6 power tube circuit. The reissues actually come with a 6V6 which is a little bit different, but that thing sounds good too. I don't, you might be able to see the reissue, but there's even the reissue is kind of expensive. See right there. That's what my original reverb unit is actually behind the amp here. And it's one of those brown Tolex covered ones. It's not tweed. But yeah, those are great little units. I mean, it's real spring reverb. It's like adding spring reverb to your amp. I can't hardly play my Bassman without the reverb. What do I think of MXR Hendrix pedals? Signature wall, Uni-Vibe, fuzz face. Well, I don't know. I haven't checked them out. There's so many out there, but that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Is check out Sabbadius on the reverb.com, and he has, it's a Texas fuzz or something, but it's silicon. He does have another one that's germanium, and I forgot to ask him about that because I prefer germanium, but it doesn't have that wah-wah friendly knob on it. So I need to talk to him about that. But I mean, he had everything going on Skype, and it sounded really good. And so right now, if I was just going to go out and try to buy a complete Hendrix rig, I would buy everything he's got right now, except he's not selling the wah-wah. I would get one of his fuzzes and the Uni-Vibe, and I haven't tried his boost yet. He had a boost that was on, but I didn't really get to hear it. But he did have the Mr. White on at the end of his chain, and that really helped a lot. But start with the Uni-Vibe Funky Vibe. I would get that thing first. Oh, let's see. Yeah, the reverb. Other people make reverb units, spring reverbs, but yeah, I mean the reissues are kind of expensive. I think they're like $800. I don't know why they're so expensive. I'm sure they actually have kits out there that you could build one. Ted Weber might have a kit. They're just Google Fender reverb unit kits, and that's fun. Those are easy to put together, and that might be a fun project. That'd be a good way to learn how to do some soldering. And it's not, they probably all sound pretty decent, but they do have some good electronic digital reverbs too. There's so many. I mean, if you watch the rig rundowns, I mean, you'll see a new one every day, and it drives you crazy. Well, all right. I mean, I'm going to go because I only get a couple hours to play a night until my neighbors, till I know I drive them crazy. But yeah, check out that Vibe. I'm seriously going to get one. And I've been playing my classic Vibe for years, and like I said, I really like the way this thing makes my guitar sound. I have it on all the time. This controls the speed like an expression pedal, but that foot switch turns it back to true bypass. And the only thing I don't like it right there is because if you want to push it down to go fast, and if you push too hard, you'll shut the thing off. And then the expression pedal on a real Uni-Vibe, when you rock it all the way back, there was a switch back here. There is a switch on the originals, and it's called cancel. And it would cancel the vibe, but the circuit would still, you would still be going through the circuit, so you still get the tone. And this one does that. This one has a cancel knob at the end of its sweep right here. Like I said, Sabbadius can do that with a little toggle if you want that circuit to still be there when the vibe is off. So, all right, well, you guys go jam, and I just wanted to get this out there as a hot tip on a Vibe, because it's about half the price of a Sir Henry, and I really like the Sir Henry, but I think this is a much better deal. It's Go check out. They've got a few videos. Like I said, it's changed in the last month. He found out he was experimenting, I guess, and he found out a secret to get that thing to throb correctly. Like hey, David sent me 2 photos. Let me see where that is. Hold on, I'm going to go look for some photos here. Shoot, you won't believe I just lost. You know how you put all your favorite websites on your favorite bookmarks? And I seriously have been sitting here for the last hour trying to figure out where all my bookmarks went. I mean, that's years of finding, websites about amps, websites about, how to adjust certain things in an amp or a guitar. And I mean, it's stuff I don't try to remember. And I have not been able to recover my bookmarks. So it's like starting over. I'm looking at some pictures that David sent me of his Vibe. And why is this not working? What the? I ended up on a video from Ivanka Trump. How's that possible? Let's see. What is going on? There's something weird with Safari. I think my Safari crashed. It's just not acting right. It's going slow, probably because I'm. Oh yeah, the Uni-Vibe. Well, hell yeah. I should have remembered that. I mean, it's an exact copy. You've got 2 of them? My gosh, yeah, I bet. But those things are expensive, aren't they? About $1,500 or some crazy thing. Look it up. Let me look it up. Yeah, that's why I like this one so much, is because it doesn't break the bank. $64 blonde basement. Hey, somebody's playing one through my amp. I just found one for, well, it's ended, but it was $900. Recreation. Yeah, I bet you that thing is nice. Well, yeah, you probably can't beat that. But for $300, I don't think you can beat the, or $350, I don't think you can beat the Funky Vibe either. And actually, it was funny that your unique vibe, Sabbadius is getting ready to make enclosures that look just like the original with the same switches and everything. And his does run on 24 volts AC. He said 24. I saw somewhere on Reverb that it was 18, but he told me 24. So it actually runs on a special adapter that he has made for that. You have to use his adapter to convert the power to 24 volts AC, which is one of the secrets of the Uni-Vibe. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. I got to go jam and not getting any more comments. I guess everybody left. All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll put those links in the description. See you later.